Another Formula One week has wrapped up, which means it's time to break down the biggest stories and key developments from the past few days. The crew of a four-time world champion delivered a dominant performance in the second round of the NLS Endurance Series, winning by a full minute. Driving a Mercedes AMG GT3, he was joined by Daniel Juncadella and Jules Gounon, both factory Mercedes drivers. Juncadella is a European Formula 3 champion and a winner of the 24 Hours of Daytona, while Gounon is a two-time winner of the 24 Hours of Spa and widely regarded as one of the top GT3 drivers in the world. The day started strong, with the team securing pole position by nearly 2 seconds. At the race start, Max Verstappen launched well, but lost the lead on the opening lap to Christopher Haase. A fierce battle for the lead followed over several laps. Verstappen applied relentless pressure and eventually reclaimed the lead just before the first round of pit stops. From that point on, the team steadily pulled away. Juncadella extended the gap to 20 seconds, then nearly a full minute. Gounon maintained the pace, and Verstappen comfortably brought the car home for what appeared to be victory. However, the result was later overturned. Verstappen's team was disqualified for exceeding the allowed number of tire sets, using 7 instead of the permitted 6. The issue was reportedly due to an internal team error. Meanwhile, reports have surfaced that Jonathan Wheatley, current team principal of Audi's Formula One project, is a leading candidate to take over as team principal at Aston Martin. Although Aston Martin has denied the claims, speculation continues. Wheatley only took over at Audi last year, so questions have been raised about what could prompt such a quick potential move. According to German outlet Bild, there are two main factors. First, Wheatley's family, who relocated with him to Switzerland, reportedly wants to return to the UK. A move to Aston Martin, based in Silverstone, would accommodate that. Second, and more significantly, there are said to be internal tensions between Wheatley and Mattia Binotto, who leads Audi's Formula One development program. Currently, Audi operates with a dual leadership structure. Wheatley oversees trackside operations, while Binotto manages development and overall strategy. Disagreements between the two have reportedly occurred multiple times, fueling rumors that Wheatley could leave the project. The FIA is also considering adjustments to engine development regulations under the ADUO program following the cancellation of the Bahrain and Saudi Arabian Grands Prix, which were originally scheduled for April. Due to the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, both races were called off, prompting calls to revise the timeline for power unit upgrades. Under current rules, there are 4 evaluation checkpoints throughout the season. Internal combustion engine performance is assessed every 6 races using a comprehensive performance index. Originally, the first evaluation was set to take place after the 6th race at the Miami Grand Prix in early May. With the revised calendar, Miami is now the 4th race, pushing the first evaluation to the Monaco Grand Prix in early June. This delay could disadvantage certain engine manufacturers. The ADUO program is designed to level the playing field. Manufacturers trailing the leaders by more than 2% are granted additional development allowances, with even greater concessions if the gap exceeds 4%. The regulations cover 84 individual components, each typically limited to 1 update per season. However, teams under the ADUO program receive expanded upgrade allowances, additional test bench hours, and more flexible budget constraints. These benefits apply to both the current and following season and increase as the performance gap approaches 8%. Initially, Mercedes stood to benefit most, as their engine serves as the benchmark. Ferrari, Audi, and other manufacturers were eager for early evaluations to accelerate development. Complicating matters further is the long development cycle for power units compared to chassis. With strict homologation rules and limited upgrade opportunities outside the ADUO framework, closing the gap to Mercedes quickly is extremely difficult. The FIA is now expected to propose revised evaluation timelines based on the updated calendar. Mercedes may be the only team opposed to such changes, but agreement among manufacturers appears likely. Even if timelines are adjusted, the cost cap will remain unchanged. The current limit of $215 million applies to seasons with up to 24 races and only increases if the calendar exceeds that number. Ferrari introduced a minor technical update ahead of the Chinese Grand Prix. small winglets mounted on the central support of the halo safety structure. These were tested during practice and the Saturday sprint, but were removed before qualifying. Although the components initially passed inspection, the FIA later raised questions about their legality. Rather than risk protests or prolonged disputes, Ferrari chose to remove them. The team plans to further analyze the issue before deciding whether to reintroduce the concept. During practice, Ferrari also tested a unique rear wing design, first discussed earlier in the season. The upper flap rotates 180 degrees on straights, significantly reducing drag. However, this wing was not officially listed among updates for the Chinese Grand Prix, indicating it remains in the testing phase rather than race-ready. As for the halo-mounted winglets, the FIA's concerns appear to center on how Ferrari interpreted the technical regulations. While additional fairings on the halo are allowed, they are typically mounted on the upper section, not the central support. There are also concerns that, if permitted, such designs could lead to more extreme interpretations by other teams. Ferrari has previously pushed the boundaries in this area, most notably at the 2018 Spanish Grand Prix, when it mounted mirrors on the halo, a solution that was later banned. Ferrari is expected to continue testing its unconventional rear wing, nicknamed the macaroni-style wing in the paddock, at the Japanese Grand Prix. The FIA is also investigating vibration issues with Aston Martin's AMR26. Since the start of the 2026 season, the team has struggled with severe vibrations caused by the Honda power unit. These vibrations have damaged components, including the battery, and caused significant discomfort for drivers. At the Chinese Grand Prix, two-time world champion Fernando Alonso reportedly had to remove his hands from the steering wheel due to numbness before ultimately retiring from the race. If the FIA determines the car is unsafe, Aston Martin could be temporarily barred from competing until the issue is resolved. Max Verstappen has continued to criticize the new 2026 technical regulations. Following the Chinese Grand Prix, he warned that the rules could harm the sport if not urgently revised. The race marked only the third time in 4 seasons that Verstappen failed to score points. He finished 9th in the sprint and retired from the main race due to technical issues. Verstappen confirmed that discussions with Formula One CEO Stefano Domenicali are ongoing. While many drivers share his concerns, others, particularly Mercedes, hold a different view, which is understandable given their strong performance early in the season. McLaren has endured a disastrous start to its 2026 campaign. The team's issues extend beyond missing the Chinese Grand Prix with both cars. The double retirement was caused by a failure in a Mercedes engine component. As a result, McLaren is already 80 points behind Mercedes after just 2 races and a sprint, the worst start to a title defense in over a decade. On track, McLaren has yet to unlock the full potential of its car. The Australian Grand Prix highlighted a significant knowledge gap in understanding the Mercedes power unit, with the team trailing by over 0.8 seconds in qualifying and losing more than 50 seconds in the race. Some progress was made in Shanghai, but the core issues remain, particularly with aerodynamics and downforce. The car is considered reliable but underdeveloped. A lack of downforce reduces energy recovery efficiency, especially in corners. While the short wheelbase provides flexibility and balance, it further limits downforce. McLaren is planning a major upgrade package for the 4th race in Miami, which will serve as a crucial test of whether the team can recover and defend its title. In race control, Paul Burns has been appointed as the new deputy race director in Formula One. He will assist current race director Rui Marquez, filling a vacancy left earlier in 2026. Burns joined the FIA in 2023 and previously served as deputy race director in Formula 2, Formula 4, and the Formula Regional Series at the Macau Grand Prix. Before that, he worked with Formula One management, overseeing timing systems and contributing to the final validation of race results. Finally, the cancellation of the Bahrain and Saudi Arabian Grands Prix is expected to cost Formula One up to $200 million. This figure includes lost hosting fees, approximately $55 million from Saudi Arabia and $52 million from Bahrain, as well as losses tied to broadcasting and sponsorship obligations. Formula One and its teams rely heavily on sponsors from the Middle East, and any financial disruptions caused by the ongoing conflict could have long-term consequences for the sport.